Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I kind of have in my mind to rework and restyle this little planter right behind me with just kind of fancy it all up, not fancy, but just make it look fall or autumn-like. I want to keep the Dichondra, but I want to take out the Angelonia. And so the first thing I want to do is go get a couple of little vases. I want this project to be completely free. I want to put some of my little mini pumpkins that I grew in it. Go over on the farm and get some goldenrod, and I have some other things that we're going to put in it, but we'll go in the little garden shed first and we'll get some vases. So kind of have in my mind what I want to do. Let's hope it works. All right, let's go in my little garden shed and get some vases, or some jars actually. I think I just want to use jars, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. And I don't think I want really large jars. Maybe, no, I'm going to save those. Those are some little vases. How about, here we go. Oh, there's 3 right together, and that's how many I want. Okay, let me see if I can reach down here and get these 3. Perfect. And I'll show you just a little. Woohoo! Dried flowers. Love them. Love them so much. So here's this cool planter that my nephew and niece gave me. It's very old, and I just didn't want to paint it or anything, but I have an oblong or rectangular shape plastic planter inside, and although this Angelonia would be fine to leave, the purple in the back here would be fine to leave for the autumn, but I just want to kind of use my pumpkins and it doesn't really match. So let's just see if we can fall it up just a little bit, but I definitely want to save this Dichondra Silver Falls here. All right, y'all hang on, here we go. Tractor crossing. Please slow down. Lots of goldenrod everywhere. So this Angelonia I planted just as soon as it came out on the market. I did not start this from seed, and it got like, you know, this tall, really tall, so I chopped it in half about midsummer, and maybe a little bit earlier than midsummer because it was in here for quite a long time. And it's done its job. I don't feel bad about removing it, so please don't disown me because I'm taking it out, but it's done its job. It's an annual for me here in my zone 6B, and I know for some of you it's actually, you know, a perennial. It can go longer, but it's an annual for me. So its days are numbered, and I don't keep my little greenhouse heated over the winter, so I couldn't overwinter it or anything. So we're going to let it go. You did a good job there, Angelonia. You did very well for us, and you were very pretty. But this Dichondra I definitely want to save, so that's why I'm taking my little hand trowel and just kind of going around so that I can cut the roots so that I don't disturb the roots any more than I have to from the Dichondra. This little planter is set up on drip, and if you're looking for a good drip system for your containers, Proven Winners sells a drip system for your containers. That's what I have in all of my containers. So you can check that out. Dichondra is pretty tough. Now it's also an annual for me here in my Zone 6B, but it will last until a good long time, probably until I'm ready to do this little planter to put some evergreen branches and things in it for Christmas time. These are just jelly jars here, and I save all of my jars, like pasta jars, jelly jars, salsa jars, coffee jars. My husband drinks instant coffee. I don't drink coffee. I know I'm strange because I don't drink coffee. But anyway, I save all my jars because they make great jars for giveaway bouquets. So then you can put some ribbon around them and nobody ever knows the difference. They fit perfectly. Oh, that's great. I think I'm gonna like that. Now you'll see my little plan will all come together here soon, hopefully. So I pre-filled a jar of lukewarm water here, or tepid water, and I did go ahead and add some fresh flower food. I will put in the description below the type I use. It's just little packets, and I buy them by large quantities, and then I can just put however much I need to per bouquet or whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some water in my jars. I'm going to fill the water all the way up, and I'll be able to get these jars in and out of this little planter pretty easily, or at least to change out the flowers. So I see a wasp here on our goldenrod, which is totally normal. Whatever goldenrod we don't use in this little idea of mine, I will dry. I love using the goldenrod for drying. You can see the wind here, the breeze, which is lovely. I love it. You get a lot of wind. And I was thinking of just doing one in the center and then doing a lot of the little mini pumpkins around, but maybe we'll just do all three. I don't know. And I cut mostly things like my zinnias. They're mostly spent. So, they're not good for a giveaway bouquet. Now, this is Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. Yesterday, my sweet granddaughter came down and made a bouquet for her mom, and I forgot to tell her how to condition this by cutting up into the stem because it is kind of woody. So you want to cut up into the stem, and by the time she got done with her arrangement, her Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus was all drooped. And she was so sweet. She was like, "Oh, but I kind of like it that way." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But actually, it will perk up. Sure, why I chose to do the ends. Let me just switch to jars. Okay. There we go. And I just have, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a good idea. I just have containers of coleus everywhere so that I can use them for cutting. Some of the containers of the coleus that I have are like kind of sad looking because I've cut on them so much. I don't really need to recut the bottom of these unless they're too long because they've been conditioning in the water. And I always use tepid water. When you're conditioning your flowers, you want to use that lukewarm water so the stems can really soak up the water. But then you want them in a cool place. Obviously, this is not going to be in a cool place, but it is cooling down here very soon, like in a day or so. It's going to be super cool. I'm going to have a low of 48 Fahrenheit in a couple of days, so I'm pretty excited about that. This is limelight millet, and it's one of my absolute favorite things to grow from seed. Oh, I love it so much. And to dry. I dry it. This winter I'm going to have lots of bounty from my cut flower garden and from different native flowers on the farm that I have dried that I can decorate with and just be happy with. All right, let's add some of these red and orange zinnias. I started these from seed a little bit later in the season because I knew I would have enough days. I planned them just so they would be blooming towards the fall or the autumn time, so that it would have the red and orange colors. And I have dried some zinnia before, which they dry pretty good, especially if you do silica gel, but even hanging upside down method, they dry pretty well. This coleus is by Proven Winners. It's color blaze lime, something like that. And I have a big, huge basket of that. I used a lot. I cut a lot of that for a wedding that I gave flowers to, and recently. I think I'm going to need to go around the front and look at this and see if it's getting overpowering or what. Okay, I'm going to get some pumpkins and see how we can put some pumpkins in here, and then we'll put it back to where it goes, and then I have another container that goes in front of it. So anyway, let's do that. I'm going to stop the camera and then I'll restart it in a minute. I got some of my little mini pumpkins. You can check out that video of where I harvested these. I've been having a lot of fun with them. I've given some away and I want to be able to see them. Let's do some of these orange ones. Let me switch and I'll put an orange one right here. Maybe a big orange one in the center. Oh yeah, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to put this back in its spot and then we will take a final look at it. You guys, I love the way this turned out. Oh my goodness. I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll talk just a brief minute about it. So what do you think? Do you like it? The little pumpkins just hit it off perfectly in there. They're just like, I love it. And as I said, I can change out the flowers once these get all spent. You can see the wasp in there. Just being happy with whatever's going on in there. So as soon as these, I can top off the water, I can change them out, I can put panicle hydrangea blooms in here, just do all kinds of things to keep it going through the rest of the autumn. And you know, just go out in your yard, check around, see what you have if you want to do something like this and spruce up a planter for autumn. And this was totally free. You know, these things I already grew and I had, so totally free, no cost to me, and that's exactly what I wanted. And then this planter I just brought up here, this container that I've had all summer pretty much, well, maybe 2 months. This is coleus, it's a sun or shade coleus, and then sage there, and then annual fountain grass. So I think that kind of looks nice. Let me back up. There's quite a glare in my camera, so I'm not sure what all we're seeing, but the sun is already hitting here. So I'm just really, really happy with the way this turned out. I had to move back here to the back of the house in the shade because it was getting so hot there on the front porch. And I wanted to just take a few minutes to say goodbye to you. I really, really thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Meanwhile, I'm going to hang up this goldenrod to dry, and I might actually harvest some of this Mexican bush sage because some of it's ready to start drying it. So until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye.